I don't know. That's just where I'm at tonight. You can tell me I'm wrong. Let's get into Twitter. Twitter, I thought this was interesting. It says, not everyone, this is from Danielle Levy. Not everyone who bought real estate in early 2022 were trying to make a buck. A lot of people who had wanted to get into the market and become first-time homebuyers and weren't guided with care. This woman is in Canada. I do believe that's true. I do believe that's true. I still, even now, buyers and sellers in my experience are that they're just looking for a home. They're not, they're not looking to make a killing. And this is why does this matter? Well, it matters because investors were squeezing out regular home buyers. And then not just investors like, fix and flip people, but like large Wall Street backed firms, Open Door, Zillow, um, whatever the other one's called, OfferPad. I mean, they had a tremendous advantage over a regular buyer. Blackstone behind them. I had an offer in one of my homes from Blackstone out of Colorado. They were offering cash and they were pretty close to the asking price. The only problem is we were like, way over the asking price. So there's that. And then we have the issue of short-term rentals, which will come into play a little bit later in our tweets, I believe. If you can get, like, if your normal mortgage rate is like, say, $500, and you can rent that thing out, for $500 a weekend or more. I mean, you can make a tremendous amount of money if you can keep it occupied, but it also raises the value of that property to you versus a homeowner who's going to live there. And like, I don't think it's getting fixed by the federal government. Okay. I don't think the federal government is capable of fixing anything. I'm leery of the state governments being able to fix anything. In my lifetime, I don't know what they have fixed. Like, I can't name one thing that's been fixed by the federal government or the state government, like actually fixed. One problem. Just give me one problem that they've fixed. Solved. You may say Obamacare, fix that. I don't feel like that's fixed. Wars, I don't feel like we fixed those. Big Pharma, definitely don't think that's been fixed. Anything, like, I just don't see where it's been fixed. If anything, it's gotten worse when they do get involved. What do you think? Put your comments in the chat. Put your comments in the comment section if it's like 6 months from now and you're watching this. So anyway, I would I am a capitalist. I am, but I believe that the government should determine the rules of the game being played. And rather than that, what they do is play a game of crony capitalism, which I'm not for. When they pick winners and losers, I'm not for that. If you want to be a socialist, I'm okay with it. I understand your thinking. And I hate crony capitalism more than I hate anything else. So that's that. Lance Lambert pulled this up. He wrote a big piece. 364 housing markets remain below pre-pandemic inventory levels. St. Louis is barely moved for inventory. We have a lot of inventory. I'm a little bit surprised by this chart, given what I know in the marketplace. I do still have people looking at homes for sale, like listings. Not like it used to be, but there are still people out there. And when I actually have somebody that wants to buy a house, I just met with them earlier this week. They want to start the house buying tour, and it's like they feel they need to get out of their where they currently live. That's just it. That's the deal. They don't care about um they don't care about the market or anything else. They just want to move. Just putting it out there. So very interesting, I thought. This is Jeff Winiger. Japan's stock market returns in the 1980s are a thing of legend. A mania that gets put up there with South Sea Bubble.com, etc. The Nasdaq's 12-year run from 2009 to 2021 witnessed returns in excess of Japan's final 12 years, 1977 and 1989. Now, there was a movie with Michael Keaton. It's movie night. It was called Gung Ho. Gung Ho. Michael Keaton. I don't know if you know who Michael Keaton is. He's a big deal. Actor. But anyway, Gung Ho. And it was about how the Japanese people, because of the way they are, were gonna take over all industry all across the world. This little island was gonna just crush us. And they were. And I don't know what happened. They blew up. But when I think about China and how they're going to eat our lunch, they're already eating our lunch. You wonder if they're going to blow up too. Like, because Japan, I mean, I'm telling you, people were like, we can't build cars in the United States anymore. Well, it turns out we can. They were like, but I don't think they ever had our industry like China does now. I mean, that China just stole our industry. I mean, we gave it to them, but it's just like, man. Now look at this. So see this 1977 to 1989, and this is now March of 2009 to 2021. I mean, this is not good. In 2021, I mean, you can see it going down. Look at the kind of the stagnation in the stock market for the Japanese from 1989 to like 2010. Are we looking at 10 years or longer of they had stagflation? That was what it was. Are we looking at the same thing? Oh, that would suck. Trisha Balsizer, we're going with, was just preparing a presentation for a seller and had this graph ready to justify pricing strategy. Now, look, this is a very interesting thing if you're a real estate agent, because I don't see other people's listing presentations. I don't see any of them. I have no idea. So I very seldom ever whip out like a bunch of charts. I've never felt like I've lost a deal because of my listing presentation not having enough facts and figures and numbers. I typically don't even do a listing presentation. I typically go to the house, I look at it, and I say, I'll get back to you in a little bit when I see some other houses in the neighborhood that I think are comparable or in this area. And then I go from there. Most people I work with are thrilled with that approach because they don't really like to be sold anything. They're looking more for a consultant, someone they can trust. I don't think that throwing a bunch of numbers in someone's face puts off that level of trust. Now, look, I'm not the top real estate agent in St. Louis. I'm not even as far as volume, I'm not even in the top. I'm probably not even in the top. Gosh, I would guess I'm in the lower quadrant. It's just the way I am, though. I mean, I never really wanted to do the things that I would need to do to be in the top echelon. I don't want to grow a team of 50 agents. I have no interest in that. I don't want to lie to people constantly about every little thing. I just don't want it. And so this is why I'm where I'm at. I also I don't know. Anyway, so if I went on a listing appointment, I'd say, "Well, how much do you want for the house? What do you think the house is worth?" And they would say, "Well, what do you think?" We'll say, "Based on what I see, it's worth about X. Is that what you'd be comfortable with?" Well, they say, "You're the expert. You go for it." Or they say, "I don't really like that number. I'd like to go here." I say, "Okay, well, if we go there, it's probably going to cost us more money down the road. But if that's what you want, that's what we're going to do." I mean, I feel like I've always been able to make numbers up to get any sort of number I want. I don't think it's, you know, I've never been comfortable. Like, whenever I'm being shopped, whenever they call like 6 real estate agents and they're like, "Well, what number do you think it is?" And if I come up with the top number, then I get the listing, I win. It's like, I'm not, that's not a game I'm interested in playing. I'm just telling you how it is with me. So, yeah, it says, look, the active listings are going down in a jagged form, but they're going up. I mean, there's more of them. And then the new pendings are going down. And this is in Florida. Oh, sorry, I hit the microphone with my chin. I don't feel like I have to justify pricing strategy. I think if you're pulling a comp from like the summer, you're not going to make it. Like, that's not the number. But whatever. Patrick Zweifel. I thought this was an interesting setup. It says, no, this is one of 3. Yeah. Apologize. It says, no sign yet of stabilization in the U.S. housing market. Activity is falling to its lowest level in over 10 years. The speed of contraction is the fastest in the 40-year history of our index. That's pretty amazing. I don't know if I can get the chart to come up. Can you see that? Wham. It's not good. Just saying. It says 2 of 3. Our housing activity index, which has historically led home prices by 1 year, now points to a fall of home prices by 7.8% year over year. Now, everyone's telling us that we're going to get well, I mean, Realtor.com and Zillow and National Association of Realtors are saying we should see some gains, probably in the 6%, I believe, region for 2023. I've thought that's a little bit suspect myself, just me. But it says housing affordability at its lowest since the mid 80s, as the typical mortgage payment represents more than 27% of income for a median family income buying a median priced home at current mortgage rates. Typical mortgage payments highest since the mid 80s. I don't think that's so good. But can I, if I could just, if I may, look, I'm just checking to see if anybody's on the chat. It says, look, like, just understand, like, people have a real tough time with understanding this. People say, well, John, why doesn't everybody have a 2,500 square foot home? We look at parts of Afton where I have my office, where I grew up, and it's like, John, why is there an 800 square foot house here? Like, why didn't the people buy why didn't they build a 2,000 square foot house? And it's like, well, look, a long time ago, people didn't have the money. The 30-year mortgage was a way to gain wealth, but they didn't know that then. I mean, this was post World War II housing. This is what people could afford. It's a fairly recent phenomenon from the 80s that people can afford houses because mortgage rates aren't terrible. Remember, from the mid 80s, earlier than that, in the 70s, you had a terrible problem with inflation, which is what I feel like we have today. I don't think things are going to get better. I think they're just going to continue. Liz Ann Saunders' number of multifamily housing units under construction has risen to the highest since December of 1973. This was December 22nd. Multifamily units under construction has risen to the highest since December of 1973. That's amazing. Last one. Low income San Diegans are struggling. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to go here. Unbelievable. This is from Encore Bubble. I just want to make sure that I put the link in my description. I did. The STRA, that's the Short Term Rental Association group, is suing the city of San Diego over the ordinance. They claim, and I shit you not, that low income people of color are losing beach access because they can't come to these insanely expensive coastal Airbnbs. I don't like to use race in arguments. I don't. I like to have my arguments based solely on the economics. For as far as affordability and that, I hate using race. I hate using marginalized groups. That people use them as pawns, and it's just disgusting. The full details here. It says the well-funded industry group San Diego Short-Term Rental Alliance is suing the city of San Diego over the short-term rental ordinance. It says their November 23rd, 2022 filing is here. We're not, and the city requests dismissal, which is pretty amazing. It says low-income San Diegans are struggling to find housing due to the proliferation of Airbnbs, especially multi-unit Airbnb businesses that own 60+% of units. There are more whole home Airbnbs than there are available rental or for sale homes. It seems like a problem. And you say, John, why are you bothering yourself with why are you bothering yourself with like San Diego real estate? Why do you bother yourself with Canadian real estate? Why do you bother yourself with UK real estate? It's not that things will be exactly the same in St. Louis. In fact, they're not. I mean, we're not dealing with the drop in prices that some people have dealt with. I mean, things are soft right now, but they're not like a disaster. People are still in pretty good shape. The thing is, like when you're up like 25% year over year and then 16% year over year, if you have a drop of 3 to 5% home prices, that really doesn't matter. It really doesn't hurt anything. And that's kind of where we are in St. Louis right now. But anyway, the short-term rental, I said it was going to come back up, and I mean it. I feel like something needs to be done with a lot of this stuff, because I feel like the people that actually go to work are not able to afford homes. And we're not talking about the $400,000 ones. We're talking about I believe that I honestly believe that economics in a country are so important, because when people starve, that's when the wars start. People fan the flames of wars now. I mean, we talk about division. We create division for clicks. We create division for personal gain. But when people stop eating or stop with the ability to eat, they're not interested in your kind of quote unquote woke culture. They're interested in eating. And you say, well, we're the most prosperous nation in the world. That would never happen.